Hey, what's up y'all? It's Kim with allthingsdrone.com, and today I'm here to talk about my Mini 3 Pro review, as well as like my Mini 3 Pro impressions and pros and cons of the Mini 3 Pro. Before the Mini 3 Pro, I was flying the Mavic Air 2. It's been a little bit over 2 months since I've owned this drone. So let's get into my thoughts about what I think about this Mini 3 Pro drone. Off the top, one of the things I like about the Mini 3 Pro is it is small. I'm able to throw it in my purse. I'm able to carry it to various countries as I travel a lot. So when I go out of the country, some countries have rules and regulations in the sense that if your drone is over 250 grams, you have to do certain different things. You do not have to register this drone with the FAA since it is under 250 grams. Another one of the things that I like about the Mini 3 Pro is you have the option to get the Battery Plus, which gives you about 47 minutes of flight time. And one thing though that they don't talk about a lot is that this Battery Plus weighs more than the standard battery that comes with the Mini 3 Pro, which gives you roughly 30 to 35 minutes of flight time. Technically, if you're flying with the Battery Plus, you're actually more than 249 grams. So just be mindful of that. Another thing, I really like that this drone has HDR capability. It has sensor capability that you don't see in your previous minis. As you can see, the sensors on the top, sensors on the bottom. Another thing that I like is you have the option to purchase the DJI RC, which is basically this remote controller. This is the remote controller that has a screen, so you no longer have to use your phone. If you've seen some of my previous videos, the reason why I don't like using my phone is because I end up cracking the screen or doing something because the phones do not fit in the controller with the case. When you're using that controller, be sure to connect to your hotspot because, especially when you're traveling, so you have access to the maps. I love that you're able to insert a SD card into this controller and do screen recording. So as opposed to me screen recording on my phone or using an app, that eliminates all of that. Some other things that I like about this drone is that it's better in low light compared to my Mavic Air 2. I was able to capture some amazing footage that I actually lost because I lost that drone and I didn't download that footage. But anyway, as someone that is heavily into short video format, I love the vertical feature. I love the ability to be able to zoom. This drone shoots up to 4K and 60 frames per second, but you're not able to zoom in when you're on the 4K 60 frames per second setting. I like that it's very quiet compared to the Mavic Air 2 and some of the other drones I've flown. I've even flown around people and they're like, where is that drone? Because you can't really hear it. It is very quiet. Although I like that it's small, I've never been a fan of small drones because I'm always afraid. One, when I'm flying in certain areas, birds circle that small drone like a lot. Birds tend to circle drones, but I really notice it when I'm flying a mini drone. I'm always nervous that the birds will basically take the drone away. I've always heard about minis flying away or being flown away, like blown away. But I have seen where people have done some wind tests for the drone so it's able to withstand certain winds. I just still have a problem with putting my trust in this drone. I'm always a little nervous to fly it further than usual, and it actually happened where I did fly it further than I normally would fly a mini and it didn't make it back. So never lost a drone ever, and I've only lost a drone with this. So that leads me to my next point as far as the signal strength of the Mini 3 Pro and the controller. I've noticed that I don't think the signal strength is that strong. As far as I've flown the drone, I've lost connection, and when I lost connection, the drone did not return home and it was actually kind of stuck. So it lost connection and then it was kind of flying near a restricted area and lost connection, and then it ended up dropping in the ocean because the battery died. So I'm a little cautious as far as the signal strength and flying it. I still am not comfortable flying it as far as I would with the Mavic Air 2. Another thing that I don't like is the SD card slot of the Mini 3 Pro. It is a little tough to sometimes get in and out compared to some of the other drones I've had. I've never been a fan of the gimbal covers of DJI. I don't know why, but they're very I always feel like I'm about to break this gimbal with these. I always end up having to buy extras because they crack. They don't really seem that reliable for this type of drone. Just kind of like a con of this controller, although it is nice to have, don't go in there expecting the same things that you see people doing with the RC Pro. This doesn't have the ability as of now to connect to different apps. At the time of this video, you can only fly it with the Mini 3 Pro. It's going to be hard to do streaming with this because you're not able to do any additional apps. You might have to do some additional setups. As I look at this, I've already lost a joystick, so a little flimsy on the joysticks. That's just kind of something to be mindful of. Also, compared to the RC Pro, it is a little tough to get into the main system of this controller. It is like an Android based setup, so you have to have something that allows you to be able to access Android files. One thing which is minor that I have never really appreciated about the Mini series is the color of the drone compared to the Mavic Air 2. A little darker. This one's always been lighter, so as a woman I wear makeup, just things, it gets dirtier easier, it gets dirtier quicker, so I just haven't really appreciated that. I've noticed that this drone does get hot when it flies, so I've heard varying opinions from everyone, but I've noticed that it does get really hot when it flies. Those are kind of like minor things. Hopefully those are minor things. Hopefully they'll be addressed with any type of updates. One thing I have noticed is this is my first time purchasing a drone directly from DJI. I've normally purchased from Best Buy, and the customer service has not been the best. And I've heard from people that that's kind of like expected, but like again, I said, I've never purchased directly from DJI. Delays and just things like that, having me do kind of the runaround for the DJI refresh was not very good. It was not a good experience, and at the end of the day I ended up getting like some type of credit, but I can't really buy anything with it because we all know how much DJI products cost. So I'm still getting used to it. Atlanta, where I am, has not been the best as far as weather. I have to fly it some more, but I wanted to do an initial like here's my impression within like the first roughly 60 days of owning this drone. And I will say, as far as like, is this a beginner drone for people that are watching? It's definitely not a beginner drone. The price point alone, like I said, I spent an additional $235 to replace my initial drone on top of $1,300 for this. I mean, it's a little cheaper if you don't do that controller, but that's a lot for your first drone if you've never flown it. I was annoyed and pissed just having to pay that additional $235 on top of the $1,300. So I can imagine if someone who's never flown a drone wants to get a Mini. I think people always associate the Mini with for beginners, but this is a Mini 3 Pro, so there's a higher price tag. But if you're just getting into drones, there's other Minis. You can test out some of the Mini 2s. Those are probably going down because of the Mini 3 Pro coming out. And there's also a Mini SE that's a good price point, but you have to look at basically the Mini SE only shoots in 2.7K as far as a max, so you're not going to get the 4K quality. So when you're buying a drone, I would encourage you to look at my drone buying guide, because you want to be able to check off these different things and evaluate it before you plunk money down on a drone. I know when I first brought the Mini, I was a little disappointed because it only shot 2.7K. and most of my videos would shoot in 4K on as far as like my videos on the ground. So definitely do your research. I have a video on what you need to look for when looking for a drone, so definitely check that out. Overall, I would say I am enjoying the Mini 3 Pro a little more than I thought I would. Just a little, still trying to get over the sting of paying additional money and how much I've paid and actually losing one, because I've never lost a drone until I got the Mini 3 Pro. I'm still like a Mavic Air 2, like quality, just like ease of use and things for me, just getting that footage out the gate. I still lean towards the Mavic Air 2, but I will tell you lately, I've been grabbing the Mini 3 Pro only and taking it. In the past, like last month, I grabbed the Mavic Air 2 and the Mini 3 Pro and took them both at the same time. But now I gravitate more towards taking the Mini 3 Pro. So be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll be showing like comparisons between the Mavic Air 2 and the Mini 3 Pro, as well as other drones and other manufacturers. Check out some of my footage of the Mini 3 Pro. And again, my name is Kim. I'm the creator of allthingsdrone.com. So be sure to subscribe and like this video and share it out if you found it helpful. Thanks for watching.